Shiv Arur, who's reporting to us from Rajouri along the line of control. Shiv, we're talking about an incident in August 2011, but from the looks of it, it seems these incidents have been happening. They just haven't been brought to the forefront so far.
That is correct, Nida. The fact is that there was an incident in August 2011. There have been several incidents ever since, and since this morning at 11 a.m., since we actually went out with the details of this August 2011 incident, I've been getting messages from several different sources, several different persons in the army about other incidents of a similar nature that have happened that pretty much paint a grisly picture of how the battle across the line of control has actually been conducted, not just now but for many years together. Because remember, the other side of the 2011 incident is that the Indian army is understood to have conducted a retaliatory strike in which heavy damage was inflicted on that Pakistani post from which the attack actually emerged in Kupwara, Nida, and those details haven't emerged so far either. But the fact is, what we're dealing with here is the beheading of jawans, the mutilation of corpses, and a complete and flagrant contravention of all quote-unquote rules of war or the Geneva Conventions as they were. So the fact is, if you connect Maindhar with what happened in August 2011 in Kupwara and the several other incidents that perhaps will come to light at this stage, it's almost like mutilation, beheading are standard culture for the Pakistan army. It's something that they've perpetuated, and there's no reason to believe that they won't continue to do it in the future as well.
But Shiv, the defense experts that we have been speaking to here on Headlines today also have the opinion that it's not as if India doesn't come out and retaliate. We've seen Indian troops engaging in a similar fashion with the Pakistan jawans. In that sense, the big question then is what exactly happens from this point onwards if neither side is really willing to back off?
That's an excellent question, and yes, it's an ugly situation on the line of control. There are always vendetta or retaliatory attacks by Indian posts on Pakistani posts. That is an open secret, even though nobody will officially ever comment on it. And even in August 2011, there was there was a special forces team that we hear from our sources mounted a raid on that Pakistani post and inflicted all that damage. So this sort of thing happens. The question is, how much is the army and the government really willing to talk about it? And also, is this really the answer to, a sort of enduring peace on the line of control? Let's keep a couple of things, in focus always when we deal with this issue. Of all the ceasefire violations that have happened between India and Pakistan on the line of control, official records state that every single one of those provocations and violations have been initiated by Pakistan. Point number two, there are no open reports about the Indian army ever mutilating or beheading a Pakistani army soldier. It's always been the Pakistan army that has done that. So, while we can talk about the circle of violence, the circle of revenge and retaliatory attacks across the line of control, there is a specific issue here with mutilation and beheading, which takes this entire conflict to another level altogether. And I'm afraid we're probably going to see it happen much more often now.
And Shiv, the disturbing part also is, just a short while back, the news that Headlines today broke to our viewers, the fact that Pakistan is not even willing to come out and engage in a dialogue of any kind of level, come forward, address the situation, at least acknowledge the fact that this is a problem. Let's at least talk about it.
It's very unhealthy. The fact that they haven't responded to a call for a brigadier level, flag meeting in Poonch, especially pertaining to what has happened over the last few days, earlier this month, Nida, doesn't speak well at all about Pakistan's intentions in trying to calm things down. Remember that just a few hours after the incident, after the January 8th incident where they had beheaded 2 jawans, they opened fire on the same post just 2 days later. So you've got Pakistan, which is accuses India of aggression, and India has no doubt. The Indian army has no doubt been aggressive, but it has never been aggressive unilaterally. It's always been aggressive in retaliation to a provocative Pakistani aggression. And therefore, how is this cycle of violence actually to be broken? Well, the Indian side has invited them for a flag level meeting. They've decided not to respond to it so far. So I think that speaks for itself.
All right, Shiv, we'll keep returning to you for more developments on the story. Right now, many thanks for having joined us from Rajouri along the line of control and having taken us through the details.